Get ready to learn the 26 most important signs in American Sign Language, the alphabet. In this video, you're going to learn how to sign each letter in ASL clearly and properly, and also common mistakes that you should avoid, as well as variations that you should be familiar with for certain letters. With all that said, let's learn the basics. So I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it, and I'm going to go letter by letter and show you how to sign it properly and some common mistakes and some variations as we go along through the video. And be sure to check out the description area down below. I'm going to be including some links and resources that could be very valuable for you if you were just beginning to learn sign language. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. And so we're going to start off with the letter A. So this is how you sign the letter A. Now, one mistake many people make is that their thumb comes out too much. So you want to make sure that the thumb is pressed up against your index finger like this, and that your forefingers are laying flat across your fist like this. A. Next is B. You just make sure that your thumb crosses your palm like this. B. The next letter is C. So this is really easy to remember. It looks like the letter C. C. D can be a little tricky, and it's commonly mistakenly signed like this. This, with a closed fist, is the number 1, or the number 1. But remember that D is going to have an opening like this. So if you look at this, it looks like a letter D, the lowercase d. So make sure that your fingers are open like this, D. The next letter is E. Now this one actually has a lot of variations to it, and it's not necessarily wrong if you see it differently. So one common variation to E is that there will be a gap between the fingers on top and the thumb on the bottom. And this is commonly referenced to as a screaming E. You kind of picture this as a mouth and he's screaming. But both are correct. So you'll have either your thumb against your fingers or you'll have a little bit of a gap. And for you Canadians out there, I've seen many Canadians sign their E like this, to where their thumb and the fingernail of their index finger are touching like this. But in proper ASL, you want to make sure your thumb is across the fingers like this, or there could be a gap. That is also acceptable. The next letter is F, and you just touch your thumb and your index finger together. F. The next letter is G. So this is a little bit of a difficult hand shape to make, but you can kind of picture this as a tuning fork, and you want to make sure that it lays flat like this, so if you were to balance something, it wouldn't fall out. So G. The next letter is H. Make sure that that thumb is tucked in like this for H. I. One common mistake for the letter I is that the thumb is to the side. You want to make sure that this thumb is crossing the other 3 fingers like this for the letter I. Next is J. You just draw a J in the air like this, J. The next letter is K. So you can think of the number 2, and you want to get your thumb in between your index finger and your middle finger, just like that, K. L is really simple. You just make the L hand shape with your fingers like this. And M, you will make sure that you have 3 fingers overlapping your thumb, just like this. Now, one common variation to this is to where the fingers are extended forward like this. This is sometimes referred to as a straight M or an interpreter's N, and both are acceptable. One reason for the straight fingers is for clarity and speed, but for now we can just go ahead and learn M like this. The next letter is N, and instead of 3 fingers, we only have 2 fingers overlapping the thumb like this. And again, you might see this as a straight N or an interpreter N. But again, we can keep learning it like this, N. The next letter is O. You just make the letter O with your hands like this. P is actually the same hand shape as K, but we're going to make sure that our middle finger is pointing straight down at the ground like this, P. Now Q is actually the same hand shape as G, as we had mentioned earlier. So remember that tuning fork that we had laying flat? For Q, it's just going to point straight down, Q, just like this. The next letter is R. You just cross your fingers. The next letter is S. And again, you want to make sure that that thumb is crossing your other 4 fingers like this. You're just basically making a fist, S. The next letter is T. you just have your index finger overlapping your thumb like this. T. Now we're in the home stretch. We have just a few letters to go. So next is the letter U. You make sure that these two fingers are touching each other like this. U. And the next letter is V. And this is really easy to remember because it looks like the letter V. The next one is W, which also looks like the letter W. X can be a little tricky, but you just basically take your index finger and you bend it just a little bit like this for X. The next letter is Y. Make sure that your thumb is out like this and that your pinky is out pointing the other way. Y. And the last letter is simple but can be confusing because if you look on different websites and videos and posters, you'll actually see two different ways of drawing the Z. So typically you'll see Z as like this, to where the pointer is going away from the body and then it zigs in and then back out. But you'll also see it the other way around, to where the finger comes towards the body, zigs out, and then comes back in. You might be wondering which one is correct. So I'm going to show a few clips from some deaf teachers and also a clip from Gallaudet, their free course of ASL Connect. And as you can see, all of those videos are showing Z like this. So basically you will be drawing the Z from your perspective, like you're drawing it in the sand. Z. Your finger goes out, zigs in, and then goes back out again. Z. So there you have the most important 26 signs in ASL. Let's go ahead and review the entire alphabet from beginning to end. And if you can, go ahead and sign the letters with me as we go through the entire alphabet. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now we just learned 26 new signs, and that can be a lot to remember. So what I would encourage you to do is go ahead and go back to the review section where we go through the entire alphabet at a slower pace, and for you to copy the signs more than just once. And so I'm going to leave a timestamp in the description area down below so you can just skip straight to the review at the end. And be sure to avoid the mistakes and be on the lookout for those variations that I discussed earlier, like E versus E, N and N, M and M. And just know that many times it's not a right or a wrong thing, it's just a variety. And just know that sign language is a language, and you will find those variations and sometimes regionalizations. And if you're ready to continue to learn the basics of ASL, I have an entire playlist for you up here that you can go ahead and learn the animals and colors and numbers, as well as I'll include some links down in the description area down below to where you can look up ASL sign language dictionaries for free, as well as some good recommendations for YouTube channels and movies and TVs and documentaries. So I'll be sure to include all that stuff down in the description area below. If you found this video valuable, please press that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you ring that bell notification, you'll be notified when I upload my next video. And as always, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.